In this video, we'll be looking at how to answer Part B of the essay. Using the ADS model, discuss the possible macroeconomic impacts brought about by cutting down on government spending and increasing direct taxes, by first unpacking the question using the CCCA method. The key learning points in answering this question is understanding how a fall in government expenditure affects both aggregate demand in the short run and aggregate supply in the long run. We'll also look at how increased direct taxes can lead to lower purchasing power and consumption expenditure, as well as lower post-tax profits and lower investments, thus lowering AD. Lastly, we'll learn how to deepen our answers by considering varied outcomes and evaluative criteria, such as differing multiplier sizes, degrees of capacity utilization, as well as open versus less open economies. The command word in this question is discuss, which means we have to write a two-sided answer showing multiple perspectives. As this question is about discussing impacts, and every 15-marker essay needs you to answer two major requirements, we can consider what these two requirements are from various angles, such as positive impacts versus negative impacts, significant impacts versus limited impacts, as well as short-run versus long-run impacts. As the question specifically asks you to use the ADAS model and also has government spending as well as consumption and investment expenditures, all of which are AD/AS determinants, we know that the content of this question primarily revolves around ADAS. The endpoint of this question is macroeconomic impacts, and it's important to note here that these macroeconomic impacts relate to the four major macroeconomic indicators, namely inflation rate, which can be measured by general price level, economic growth, which can be measured by real national income, levels of unemployment, as well as balance of payments position. Once again, as there is no specific country or region given in the question, it's good to set our own context with relevant real examples for a complete explanation. To answer the two major requirements of this 15-mark essay, we'll consider short-run impacts versus long-run impacts. Requirement 1 will be explaining the short-run effects of a fall in G and increase in taxes on macroeconomic goals. Evaluative points in this essay have to be tagged to the requirement. Therefore, the EV of R1 will be to assess the extent of these short-run effects using either multiplier size or level of capacity utilization. Requirement 2 is about the long-run effects of a fall in G and increase in taxes on macroeconomic goals, while evaluation of R2 is how positive side effects from these triggers may limit the extent of these long-run effects. This slide shows the rough essay structure we'll be working with. To answer this essay, start out with an introduction defining economic terms and setting the direction of your essay. Next is your R1, the short-run impacts of decreasing G and increasing taxes. And then you have your evaluation of R1. After which is R2, where you explain the long-run impacts of decreasing G and increasing taxes. And then your evaluation of R2. Lastly, as this is a 15-mark essay, it requires a conclusion where you have to make a stand, substantiate it, and possibly offer something special to make your answer more competitive. In the next section of the module, we'll be looking at writing the Part B essay in detail.